This is 2G1C. Two guys, one coup, no spin, just truth. If it's in the headlines, we break it down, clear and direct, no run around. No talking points, no walking it back, real conversation, straight to the facts. America first, that's what we do. Fuji wants to bring truth to you.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the America First Network and the America First Media and Television channel. We are two guys, one coup. And today, folks, we have a treat for you. We have Maureen Enner. She is the host of Red, White, and Blonde, a podcast she has just recently started. After coming back, long history, we'll get into it, of media and interviews. And Maureen, you're already up there, so I want to welcome you to the show. We didn't get in really to the bio, but your career expands decades. You've had interviews with Dan Bongino, Dana Perino, Rudy, Notre Dame fame, Rudy, which Jim is probably not happy about as an Indiana Hoosier fan. But we welcome you to the show. Thank you for coming on here. I wanted to address at the beginning that you are located now in Texas, but you were in California, in San Francisco Bay Area, and left there shortly, and you can tell us the time frame after the tragic loss of your husband, Oscar Rocho. He was an Alameda County Sheriff deputy. If you want, Maureen, again, welcome. I'll tell you briefly how we kind of connected, and I don't know, but we saw you interview Dr. Carol Lieberman, and that's how I saw. I'm like, oh, who is she? Red, White, and Blonde. And I started following, and I started watching you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love her to death. You know, she's us. We want to have her on and talk to her. So again, welcome from both me and Jim to the show. We are honored to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be invited. And Dr. Carol is fantastic.
Oh, great. She's a spitfire. I'm telling you, I love her to death. She is phenomenal. Phenomenal. We can't wait to have her back as well. Well,
we got a little concerned because we think she was reading us the whole time, and that was really.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to get inside these heads. So
yeah, she may never come back, Maureen, is what we're saying.
Yeah, I wondered if she was analyzing me too.
I could use a free therapy, trust me, on this. So if you don't mind starting, you'd mentioned off air right before we started that it's coming up on 6 years since the tragic loss of your husband. Can you take us back to all that, and then how you kind of got involved in the activism and champion police and Blue Lives Matter and conservatism and all that, if you don't mind?
Well, absolutely. I was born and raised in San Francisco. I'm a fifth generation native San Franciscan. My family moved to San Francisco in 1850. It's very unusual. Yeah. San Francisco is more of a transient city. Mm-hmm. So I was born there. And then at 9 years old, I was raised in East Bay, 30 miles east, and I never lived anywhere else. I was born a conservative. I came from conservative parents. My parents are still conservative. Yes, there are conservatives in the Bay Area.
Shocking.
People ask me that all the time. Oh, did you become a conservative when you moved to Texas? No, I was born and raised. Campaigned for Reagan in high school, became a young Republican, never looked back.
Wow.
My husband and I went to high school together. We knew each other since we were 14. We did not date. We're friends. Mm-hmm. I always said I was busy. I guess I was too busy. And poor guy. And we both married and divorced, and my husband found me 30 years later on Facebook.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I had a crush on me all the way back to ninth grade, which I did not know.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I know. So the hard part is we were together 10 years, married 7 when he died. So as my grief counselor told me when I was going through the depths of grief, she said, like is stronger than love. And you guys really liked each other because we are still just married, in my opinion. My husband was 25 years with the Alameda County Sheriff's Department. He had a wide career from working in the jail, being a bailiff in the courts. He did some gang task force work. My husband's parents were from Nicaragua, immigrated here. My father-in-law has a tremendous story about America. And another Reagan lover, my father-in-law, late father-in-law. But my husband was bilingual, fluent Spanish. So he did gang tasks for infiltration in the jails. He did all kinds of things. And his biggest concern was me, because I was in media. And so his biggest concern was always me. And his biggest fear was what would happen to me if something happened to him. That was, cops don't express a lot of fear, but those were the two things he always would say. My husband contracted COVID from the Santa Rita jail.
Wow.
In April of 2020, less than a month after the country shut down, got the first wave of it and died in July, but continued going to the doctor, getting tested. They kept saying it's negative, which now we know those tests were not accurate, and was literally ambulanced out of our home. I didn't know I was asleep. He called 911 on his own. The next phone call I got was from the ER doctor saying that he was in the ICU.
Jeez.
I never got to speak to him. So it is, I always say, yeah, he was killed. And I believe the state of California killed him. I believe that his department, I mean, there's a whole story about that, which is time. But I was able to get in and see him at 10 days because Harmeet Dillon, who I knew in San Francisco, we all know who Harmeet is. She's from San Francisco. I called her office. I don't know how she did it. She got me in to see him for 30 minutes. So I did see him. He was on a ventilator, couldn't speak. So basically, I never got to see him. He was ambulanced out on a ventilator. He died about a little over 3 weeks later, and was to this day, he is still the only first responder in Alameda County. Alameda County is a very large county. There's 27 agencies, fire stations, police, EMS, and he's still the only first responder to have died of COVID.
Wow.
And the best part of this story, which we can do another show on, is the county denied me my widow's benefits.
You're kidding me.
No, because they say he didn't get it at work. So that's another fight I have. But you know what? God. Through all of that, obviously, when you're married to a first responder, I always supported the blue. I was a conservative girl, of course. I always backed the blue. Grew up in, living in San Francisco as a kid, SFPD, they were like heroes to us when we were kids. Always backed the blue, always did. But being married to one is so different. In California, my husband never allowed me to wear anything that said blue line, no blue line flag. We had nothing on our cars. We had nothing on our house. Never, never, because of what he did in the jail. Yeah. And we lived in the very next county. We lived 20 minutes from the jail, so we were relatively close. So there would be times we'd be at the shopping mall or out to dinner, and he'd see somebody he had in custody, and I knew the signal, walk away. And he always said, they'll go after you, not me. They'll do something to you. So I'm here in Texas now, and I fly my blue line flag outside. I wear my blue line. Everybody here is very proud of our police and our military. I have my American flag out with my blue line flag on the house. It's a totally different world. So I went through hell. It was horrible. It is coming up on 6 years. So I'm reflecting back to the day that he got ambulanced out, which I think is the 28th. I have to double check. June. And it was horrible. And it was COVID, and we couldn't see him, and no family could come over. We all literally sat in our homes, and I waited for the 9:00 a.m. phone call from the nurse and the 9 p.m. phone call from the doctor. And, my kid, everybody was in our own homes. He did have a beautiful funeral. They hosted it outdoors at a fairground amphitheater. And we were not allowed to have any type of a religious service. It had to be a community grouping. We were not allowed, my husband and I were both Catholic. He couldn't have a rosary the night before, which is absolutely, as you're a Catholic, you have a rosary. We were able to have a gathering, but we weren't allowed to have an official rosary. And he wasn't allowed to have a Catholic mass.
Wow.
So I kind of got affected on all fronts, right? From the COVID mandates to losing my husband, to the county of Alameda, the city of Oakland. They spent 5 years battling me in court.
This is crazy.
And denied me February of 2025, and had an opportunity to take it to Superior Court, but I didn't have any more money to hire attorneys.
Yep, and they know that. And they know that you're going to run out of money, or you're going to run out of your resolve at some point. You're going to be tired of it all, and it's on purpose. I can't believe they did that.
I mean, even when I say it, it's still like I can't believe it. And again, my husband always said, if something happens to me, this is what they'll do. They come to the house, they do this, they'll take care. It's just something you talk about when you're married to a cop. You talk about.
Correct.
Normal people don't, and a person that's not married to law enforcement. But so I still support his department. It's the new sheriff now. The old sheriff is not there. He was a great guy. I don't hold the it's hard to say. It was a huge department, fourth largest sheriff's department in California. It was divided. There were some people that took his camp, some people, it's just political, and it's ugly. And so I'm left here as a widow, struggling. Wow, that's terrible. Well, Jim, and he might mention it himself, but has a son who's a police officer. I have a future son-in-law who's also a federal police officer, and we kind of are knowing. Jim, I'm sure him and his wife all day long worry about what's going to happen, and we all do. And you're right. It depends on where you live, whether you can support that or not. We got 15 seconds before it breaks, Maureen. So when we come back, if we can, I do want to get into your storied career, honestly. You've interviewed a lot of people. You've been in media. I want to talk about all that. Jim, actually, I'll let him talk too. So we'll be right back right after this.
Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
And welcome back to Two Guys, One Coup here on the America First Media and Television Network at the America First Warehouse. We are glad to be joined by Maureen Enner. Thank you again for sharing your story about your husband. Sounds like an absolutely amazing human being. And, our condolences, honestly, for everything you've been through, even 6 years now coming later. Absolutely tragic. Prior to that, though, if you want, you did have a media career. And how did that all start? And how did you get involved? And how do you land all these interviews? Like, who do you know we don't?
So I was on the hedge fund desk at Bear Stearns.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked in finance. And everybody knows what happened to Bear Stearns in 2008 and all of that. So I had left Bear Stearns before they collapsed, and I went to work for a few different hedge funds, and then I worked for I sold research to hedge fund managers, very specific, very detailed niche, and the market crashed.
Yeah.
And we were struggling. The firm that I was with, we were struggling. And at that time, Blog Talk Radio came out. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was like the first.
It's like the first podcast kind of thing, right?
Yeah, 2008. Okay. I was watching 2020 one night and they did a show about it. And I was like, And the next morning I went online and I started Single Mom, 2 Kids, Wall Street.
That's crazy. Before podcasting was cool. Yeah.
And I just told my boss, I said, I think we're going to promote what we do and try to get what we're doing out there. And I just got everybody to come on my show. I didn't have a problem. I knew how to write a press release. I knew how to, and it was so antiquated back then, it was you dialed in and, we were on a T1 line, but it was like old fashioned, no cameras.
Correct. No. Yeah.
And I did that until about, I think 2014. And then, and that's where I got I'll tell you a story about Dan Bongino. Okay. Good man. I've interviewed him so many times. I saw him on Fox News one day. He was running for Republican senator in Maryland. A lot of people may not remember that.
Yep.
And I think it was 2012. And I saw him on Fox and I was like, oh, I like him. And I went to and this was also a lot easier back then. You could find people online. Now it's very hard to get their PR.
Very hard. Yeah.
And I just went right to his site and he had his press person and he came on my show, like no problem. Wow. And he came on my show a lot. He ended up coming on when I was on LA Talk Radio. I can't get a hold of him now. I've tried, believe me, I've tried.
Yeah.
And so that's really how I built my career. I just kind of started doing Blog Talk and I had no problem getting people on. And then I went to work for, the market kind of ticked up a little bit, and I went to work for a pretty good sized private firm in the Bay Area. And my boss was on KMBR in San Francisco. That's the home of the Giants. It's a flagship. And he had a finance show and he asked me to come on and I would co-host with him on Saturday morning. Wow. And that kind of launched me. It gave me a little meat, gave me some chops, so I could put that in my tagline. Yeah. And I went to LA Talk Radio, and then I just LA Talk Radio. I co-hosted with Bob Lang, who was on CNBC.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay. I was the Northern California connection. He was the Southern California connection. Every Friday we did California Connect, and that gave me a lot of chops. And I covered the 2015 GOP debate at the Reagan Library. I was on the CNN spin room floor. I interviewed every single candidate, not Trump. He didn't talk to anybody. It was mayhem that day. It was insane. That was the best experience of my life. There were it was so crazy. And then I just, kept going. And then I stopped around 2018. I was on a few national radio shows. Some of those shows got bought out and went away. And then I just stopped. And then 2018, then we were getting ready to retire, moved to Texas. My husband was going to retire. And then he died.
Wow.
So I decided in December, I was like, you know what? I need to go back. I need to get my story out there. I need to let people know and use what I know. It's been great. I've had my little podcast has really taken off.
It's about 5 or 6 months old, right? At this point,
I started in December.
December of 2025. Okay.
Where's your more like the audience? Where do they see you at? Is it YouTube? Is it Rumble? Is it?
It's everywhere. I haven't done Rumble yet. You guys are inspiring me to do Rumble.
I would.
YouTube, I get a ton of views on my TikTok page when I play small clips, and I get a ton of views on Instagram and Facebook. It's kind of weird. Sometimes you get a ton one place, you don't get as many. It's just different. But I do cover a lot of California politics. I've had all of the big shots on that are running for the Golden Ticket. And I have a lot of viewers in California because that's where I'm from, and they're very interested in what's happening.
Sure.
And I bring much more, as you know, with a podcast, we have a lot more time. We're not doing a 2-minute hit piece. I give these candidates a lot of time, and we really go over the issues. And I have found that that's been very, very successful for me with people in California coming to me and saying, help me.
Sure.
You don't know who to vote for. And I'm like, okay, this is what we need.
And California needs help. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. Such a kick in the gut what happened to Spencer Pratt. I worked really hard from Texas promoting him and doing shows about him. I couldn't get near him either. So
So what's your thought on that whole come on. We're all, so as outsiders, and we're all looking back, and I live in Florida, Jim's in Indiana, and we can pretty much count votes in an hour, and then we're done and we know what's happening. What's with California? Is there free and fair elections ever going to take place there?
There's not. And there hasn't been for a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
At least 20 years. I honestly think my whole lifetime California had somewhat of a rigged election. And when people would always say, who elects these people? Well, now we know. It's the homeless drug addicts that are getting paid $5 in Lane and Skid Row who are electing these people. I mean, if that wasn't so obvious in the Spencer Pratt election, I recently had Herb Morgan on as running for state controller, and the budget, they just passed a $350 billion budget for next year for California. And that is 10 times more than what that state needs if it was being run efficiently. I mentioned on my show with him last week, if California had spent their tax dollars in my lifetime, in the 62 years I've been alive, if they had efficiently spent every tax dollar from everybody in California, we would have solid gold streets. Our cities and towns would look like Disneyland. We'd have the best railway systems, bullet trains. We'd have everything. Instead, the state is coming apart at the seams and a disaster. And he agreed with me. And he even said we would be able to gold plate all of the guardrails up and down the state of California. And it would only cost $4 billion. And he said that's like a margin of error in the state budget.
Wow.
So it's a wealthy state. It always has been. It is corrupt. The IRS yesterday came out with an interesting notice. They're going to be going after now the nonprofits, and they're going to be investigating these nonprofits and the 1099s. And they're asking if you're a whistleblower, if you know anything, they're going to pay, you can get a reward. So, of course, I forwarded that over to Herb Morgan. He probably already knew it, but it's really going to come down to, I have to say, the federal government's going to have to step in, as they have with the fraud, this fraud. But California is still battling that. They're still trying to fight because they know, right? Wouldn't you? I'd want to keep that gig if I had it.
I sure would too. Just like Minnesota, like Walz and Frey there, just like, Newsom and Bass and everybody else in California. Yeah, I want that gig too. I don't want my meal ticket gone by any means.
And that's why the liberals fight so hard against any kind of regulation. And it made sense to me a long time ago, but now it really makes sense, I think, to everyone. That no wonder why they're fighting so hard to keep their jobs, because they don't want to be exposed.
They don't.
We found out with USAID when President Trump, and then they stopped the USAID. And of course, then America doesn't care about everybody else. And that's not the point. We knew it. It was because the money wasn't going. I think they figured out 10% was going to the people that was actually supposed to help, 90% spread out. And so Dale and I have been saying, kind of from the conception of this, between the NGOs, AID, that these are laundering money services. And we really saw it with Ukraine. with the billions of dollars that was going there and then funneling back here. And we do find out that Biden did get quite a bit of that money. So your thoughts on that in terms of, because now we're seeing with the governor of California's wife, the NGOs that she's involved in. The question that Dale and I always ask, do you think anything's going to come of this?
Yep.
Good. I have had Michael Gates on my show. I've become he's a very good friend of Red, White, and Blonde. He was supposed to be on yesterday. He got bumped. He's pretty busy running the campaign for Attorney General in California. And we talk about this a lot. And it's just going to take strong leadership in California. Somebody like Michael Gates, who is running for Attorney General. I also think they have to we cannot have nonprofits and NGOs and LLCs. A lot of people overlook the LLCs. I highly recommend anyone in this country go on opensecrets.com and you can look up every one of your political leaders. You can look up your congressman, everybody, and they will list all of their campaign donations, where the money's going, and what they're doing. And I just firmly believe the NGOs and the nonprofits and the LLCs need to come out of politics.
Wow.
And
LLCs, that's interesting. I never thought about that.
Because they funnel through the LLCs and the LLCs do some crazy things. I'll give a shout out to my friend, the Leah Files on TikTok. She's former CIA, NSA, and she has her own consulting firm. And she set up a whole website that helps you do this.
Wow.
So go.
Who is that again?
It's the Leah Files on TikTok. Tell her I sent you. Tell her Red, White, and Blonde sent you. She is phenomenal. Her videos are amazing.
Oh, we'll check her out.
So I don't know if that would have to come from the federal government to absolutely take out. I mean, let's just talk campaign donations have been fraudulent.
Hold that thought real quick, if you don't mind. Maureen, sorry to interrupt, but we're going to break and we will be right back. We'll continue talking about this.
250 years ago, a nation was born, built on courage, driven by freedom, defined by patriots who stood their ground. Today, we don't just remember that legacy, we wear it. This is more than a shirt. It's a symbol of strength, freedom, and pride. I'm Steve Stern, COO of theflagshirt.com, and I invite you to celebrate 250 years of the United States with us. Wear your pride, stand for something, get your shirts today.
Politics feeling broken? What if you could match with politicians the way you match on a dating app, but based on real values? Meet OpScore from Go USA, the first ever values-based political matchmaker. Think Match.com for elections that aligns voters with politicians. We score politicians on a nonpartisan scale based on your priorities. Track your politician scores and take our OpScore Challenge survey to match with leaders who align with you at opscore.org. Stop voting blind. Start matching smart. Politicians work for you.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
Corporate transfer, fine professional, moving and storage, and inventory management.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
It's me, Joe the Box. And I'm John the Blanket with the America First Podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. The Fred Rubino Podcast coming to you from the America First Warehouse.
Welcome, everybody, to the James Justice Show, tearing these airwaves apart with all the craziness that goes on in the world.
Welcome to the Patriots Podcast. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the On the Right Side podcast here at the America First Warehouse in Long Island, New York.
Shane Jenkins here with another episode of Liberty's Cage. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast, Red, Right, and True.
We are streaming live on America First Media and Television app.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. podcast. Be free, stay free.
And welcome back, Two Guys, One Coup here on the America First Warehouse and America First Media and Television Network. Thank you again to Maureen Enner for joining us today, host of Red, White, and Blonde. We were talking about the NGOs and all that California mess and Gavin Newsom's wife, and when is he going to divorce her, and is Gavin Newsom gay? That's my questions.
I have a history with Gavin Newsom when he was mayor of San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We grew up in the same town. He was mayor. Mm-hmm. I was young, single, working on a trading desk. We'd go out after work, and he'd be in all the local bars, drunk, hanging on his girls. He was the mayor.
Yeah.
Hanging on all of his girls and telling us that he was the mayor. And we would be like, get off of us. Know. So he is not a good person.
No,
he acts
he's not
that way in public. He's not a good person. He went to rehab. He had an affair with his best friend, who was his chief of staff. He had an affair with his chief of staff's wife when he was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. He's got a California political history, and they all do. It's just, it gets overlooked. It's the Gettys, the Pelosi's, that's the crime syndicate that runs California's goes back to the Jerry Brown, Pat Brown, his father. Mm-hmm. And I don't, like I said in the last block, I really wonder how we get rid of the NGOs, the pay to play, the nonprofits. I don't know if that's going to take a federal. It's interesting. Like I mentioned, the IRS is now stepping in.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's going to be it's going to start with a federal order that no more this is allowed. But it's really nasty. As I mentioned, Michael Gates, he's running against Rob Bonta, the current AG. He's corrupt. He's involved in a scheme in Oakland. That case goes to court in October. He's loosely named in it. He spent $500,000 of his own campaign money for a white-collar lawyer in San Francisco. He's involved with the mayor and these Duong brothers. The mayor is indicted, had to resign. I mean, it's really... So I mentioned this on one of my shows, I think with Herb Morgan the other day, that in my lifetime, I don't remember the heat being on California this much. There's a lot of heat on California coming from the DOJ and the federal government. And if I were an elected politician and I had my hand in the cookie jar, I'd be very nervous.
Interesting.
We've talked about the NGOs, the fraud. Okay, the fraud everywhere. I mean, we're not... I don't care if you have an R behind your name. If you committed fraud, you need to go. You need to be punished, and however else that is, whether you're a politician, removed, or so forth. But we saw that the DOJ, with the subpoena against Walz and Ellison from Minnesota, a judge overturned that. Because it said the DOJ was politically motivated.
A Minnesota judge, right?
Politically motivated is what they said it was. So it's still going to go through. It's still going to happen. But the concerns that Dale and I have is all this is out there, but then you go out to the CNNs, the MS Nows, and all these other liberal networks, the liberal politicians, they don't talk about it. And when they do talk about it, it's made up. It's not really going on. And so it's like I have a family member that I'll sit there and talk to them about this. Just look it up. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Well, they look it up and they don't see it.
Yeah.
Where are you going to? Well, I'm going to NPR. I'm going to see. Don't do that. Yeah. But then when I say go to Fox, go to OAN, go to Newsmax, nope. Oh, those are right-wing news stations, so they'll make it up. So do you think, I don't think anything, if something doesn't happen before the midterms, I don't think it's going to happen. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you on everything you said. And if we go back to 2015, when Trump first announced his run for the 2016 election, and he used the term fake news. And remember how everybody in media got upset about it.
Yes, correct.
He's absolutely right.
Yep.
He was absolutely right. And if you remember, a couple weeks ago, he stormed off the CBS This Morning with Christian Welker and had every right to do that. In fact, Dr. Carol, when she was on my show, we talked about that. And I, being a member of media, I'm not an elite member of the media by all means, but I've been in gaggles and pressers and had to conduct myself in professional manner.
Professional way. Correct.
Yeah. And the way she acted was just unexcusable. But that tells you about how corrupt the media is. They're getting money from these politicians. They're getting money from the DNC. They're getting sponsored. They're all collaborated, and they have for years. Remember, before we had Fox News, we didn't have Fox News.
Correct.
40 years ago. I don't know how old. I think, are they 40 years now?
Maybe. Yeah.
And so remember, we only had the 3 channels, and that was all the news we got. And so it's kind of a psyop, right? They've been able to do what they've done to just keep the American people at bay and give them the news that they feel comfortable with. And now we're in a whole new world of what you and I are doing and getting word out. I mean, I have people that listen to my show and they message me and they're like, how did you know? I didn't
heard that. I never, yes.
Yeah.
When we sit there and we hear that President Trump is a fascist, he wants to take over, he's king and all this stuff. But then you hear the left come out and say, when we win, and they say, when we take back the House and the Senate, we know for a fact that both J.D. Vance and President Trump are going to be impeached. We know that. There's no question about it. So they will move Hakeem Jeffries in there. They're going to stack the courts. They're going to add 2 more states. They're going to open the borders, and they're going to get rid of the Electoral College.
And filibuster.
But we are the problem. This is a complete takeover.
Well,
this is that they're trying to do.
Yeah, and they've been saying this for years. It's nothing new. It's an old playbook. But here's my little prediction for the midterms. And Trump, I am tired of hearing about the Middle East. I have been hearing about the Middle East since I was in high school.
Since
with the Iran hostages, Reagan, just and
all the way up.
And then since 9/11, right? That's going to be 25 years. I am sick of it. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. You better get your message back here to the American people and America.
Agreed.
But whoever you need in charge to do the deal, I think the straight is going to be fine.
Me too.
We need to focus on here. If you want to win midterms, every single elected Republican, from federal, state, city council, dog catcher, you better now reel it in, and we need to hear about us.
Yep.
Because there are a lot of people struggling here. We are, the stock market's great. I worked in finance my whole life. I know how that game works too.
Yep.
The average American person is struggling. I am struggling myself.
Yes.
So he needs to reel it in. Now, he is going to hold a big rally next week, the 250.
Yeah.
I think he needs to, and maybe he is waiting for the midterms to do this, but he needs to get out there. He needs to get the rallies. He needs to get out to America, find the Republicans that are struggling or the ones that are promising. And we need to focus on the United States. We are tired of the Middle East.
We are tired of the Middle East. And I don't care what side of the aisle you agree with on there, whether you're, of course I kind of care, but I mean, this could go down a whole nother path and maybe a whole nother show, but it's is Israel's war? Are we doing Israel's bidding for them? I don't believe Trump whatsoever is controlled by anybody. I believe Trump he does what he wants to do and he feels is best at the time.
I agree. I fully supported him going in. And
I did too. I did too.
I support the Iranian people.
I do too.
And I think from the moment this happened, there is way more that he knows than we'll ever know.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. Rightfully so.
And let it be. Let his people deal with it. But his message now has got to be on the America people, how to make things more affordable, how to do, just do what you have to do what you did in your first term, honestly. And I think even going after Tim Walz, let that too, just let your people handle that. Let that, because that's not going to win in the midterms. If Tim Walz gets convicted and we go through, that's not going to win in the midterms. Midterms are going to be won in middle America. showing that he is here for the American people.
Correct.
What he ran on.
Yep,
And that's my opinion for it.
I agree.
It's true. Right.
It's a true opinion. I'm always a firm believer, and people here at this network have helped me to literally trust the plan. Right? Trust the plan. There's a bigger plan. There's a bigger. God's in charge. There's a bigger plan going on here than any of us even know or are aware of, and I get that. I think we are ready, like you are, Maureen. Exactly. Like, focus now back on this.
Yes.
Focus on it. The Middle East.
He did a
shithole, and it's always been.
Yeah, he did a press conference yesterday from the Oval, and one of the ABC guys asked him something about, well, we heard this, and he said, well, where'd you hear it from? Because I don't know anything about it, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Yes.
He's not going to tell anybody what his plan is, how he's going to do. He's like, go ahead, listen to your sources. Tell me who your sources are. Well, I never heard that, but if I'm not telling you.
Exactly. And shouldn't, and he shouldn't go through Congress, because I don't trust 70% of them. And that's Republican and Democrat. Zero Democrats, about 30 to 40% of the Republicans I don't trust over there. So going through there, it would just lead to leaks and more problems. And it doesn't, we'll get it. So after we come back, we'll get into the whole, just briefly, this whole reflecting pool thing and then the TDS portion of it all. And it doesn't matter what he says, one way or the other, they're against it. You know, we had people comment yesterday, you could cure cancer, and you'd have protesters out there saying, we want tumors. You know,
make tumors great again.
Make tumors great again. It doesn't really matter. It's just bizarre to me that this is the kind of, and, you know, for a guy who didn't have to do any of this, you know.
Thank God he did.
I'm glad he did too, because you brought up the whole fake news thing. We would have never known that. Where would we be if it wasn't for him in his first term? And then where would we be if 2020 wasn't a false fake election? You know, his term would be done. Like, it just is bizarre to me that.
I mean, he brought up immigration in his first term, and nobody focused on that either.
I know,
Nobody
exactly.
Realized.
We'll be right back after this last segment. Stay tuned.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
This is former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and I'm asking you to vote for Greg Hack for the United States Congress. The bosses tried to keep him out. The people put him on the ballot. That's a darn good reason to vote for him, but there's a better one. He is a true Trump Republican, and he will fight for our values and not cave into the Democrats, as many Nassau County Republicans have done in the past. Vote for Greg Hack. God bless you.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
We are back with Maureen Enner. Thank you again for joining us here on your Tuesday. She's going to stay. She decided for the full hour and a half today, so we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Because there's a lot to go over. We didn't off air. We're talking sports. We could have had a whole sports show today, honestly, talking about it. I think there'd be a battle between Jim and her because the San Francisco-Cincinnati thing, but they do have Fernando Mendoza in common, so they do have.
Who's from Florida, which is where you are. So
yep. So, anyways, well, thank you for coming back. If you don't mind, if we can get into this whole, I guess I want to say recent events, but the whole TDS thing has been going back since, he came down the escalator in 2015. From that point, the hoaxes were on from that point, from Russia to everything he's ever done, in his life, quid pro quo, phone calls.
Mexicans are bad.
Mexicans are bad. Yes. All good people in Charlottesville. I mean, everything, you name it. It's run the gamut on it. What I never, ever, and nothing should surprise me, but I never thought I would see is people cheering for algae in a pool, protesting for algae, like walking around, and I'll use the word retard because I can't think of anything more appropriate, and I feel bad for special needs people. I don't mean to insult them even, with these, suits on and frog suits, and, I don't know. Jim and I have a little battle about, are those people paid? I don't think those ones were actually paid. I think those people are just so
deranged,
gone, right?
Yes.
I mean, we talked because we both had Dr. Carol Lieberman on. We've talked about the whole TDS and the different levels of it, and that is max TDS at that point. If you're to me walking around,
and I'm sure she shared with you her clinical.
Yes, she did.
Has a clinical diagnosis, and she is going to present that to Congress.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Did you ever think it'd get to this point? Nothing should surprise me, yet things week in and week out continue to surprise me.
Obama spent $38 million or $100 million, millions to redo the reflecting pond, and it was a disaster.
Yes.
And Trump spent $14 million. He did it in 2 months. And they're complaining about that. Let's just start with that. They're complaining about that. Okay, how much money went to fraud?
They don't even bring it up. You're right.
14 million isn't even a drop in the bucket. Let's just look at Minnesota alone. Just, Minnesota and California hold my beer. I mean,
yes, great.
14 million is nothing. Most of that was Park Service employees working, not the budget. They're screaming about no bid contract. Gavin Newsom had a no bid contract to Kaiser, $500 million he gave them to build. We could go on and on. And it's
happened since the beginning of time.
It's so ridiculous that they're focusing on the reflecting pool. And now somebody supposedly cut up the bottom. And I'm sure they did. And I'm sure they have videos.
I'm sure they did too.
He said yesterday in the presser, you'll see it in court. You will see the evidence. It is such a level of derangement. I don't think people are getting paid to do this. I seriously think people are actually that deranged, because I see it all the time. I see it. I have people contact me. I get messages. It's like, my gosh, you can't make this stuff up, right? You couldn't make this stuff up. Interesting. I saw Joe Rogan a couple weeks ago doing a show, and I can't remember the guy who was on, but he was literally talking about the left focuses on people that are not mentally strong.
Yes.
Yeah,
and they're able to get into them. And that's the worry. And I really believe that is part of what Dr. Carol was probably talking about with her Trump derangement syndrome. The left is focusing on people that are just not mentally strong.
Correct.
And they know it.
They don't want the people that can take care of themselves. They don't want them. that doesn't fit their narrative that they have. I want to go real quick, and not to change subject, but we're changing a little bit, is the whole thing about Trump. Okay, what happens with him? What happens there? You have Barack Obama go out when Kamala Harris lost the election. It was race. The America didn't vote for a black woman because we're racist. That's pretty much what he said. Okay. But then he turns around in Virginia and he goes and campaigns for a white woman against a black woman who served in our military. This is how stupid they are. They don't see that. They saw this, but they don't see that. And it just drives me nuts. Do you feel that we have come to this where, do you think the normal thinking Democrats, because I do believe they're still out there, do you think we'll ever get to the point where we get rid of that crazy nonsense crap, or are you like me and thinking that could get worse?
No, I'm thinking like you. I think that is the new face of the Democratic Party.
It is. That's
the Democratic social agenda.
The Mamdanis, the Graham Plattners, those guys.
Yes. The DNC is not recovered financially or physically from the 2024 election. The DNC is on borrowed time as they know it. They are financially in ruins. The autopsy report was terrible. Right. So what do? The DSA kicks in. That's got the young energy. It's got all the money going to it. And that's going to be the new face of the Democrats. And again, the reason these people, again, they're weak-minded people. You don't have strong Democrats. I don't even believe in the moderate Democrats.
Me
anymore.
Too.
I think they're all, because, they're seeing where the party is, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go where the cool kids are. I'm not going to hang out with the old guys.
Or they're afraid.
Yeah, they won't.
I don't even think it's that they're
or something like that.
I don't even think it's they're afraid. They're so easily swayed by what's cool and what's hip.
And
it's very scary.
Well, when you sit back and look, and I don't think any of us would have guessed this 4 years ago, when you sit back and look, that probably John Fetterman's the most reasonable. I mean, of all people, and even him. I mean, he's Democrat. He's not MAGA by any means. Trust me, but he's moderate. He's moderate. He's kind of replaced Joe Manchin. Who always was kind of middle of the road. And of course, Joe Manchin had to kind of be that way in the state of West Virginia. It's coal country. It's not a lot of wealth down there. Like you could not just go far crazy left, being from West Virginia. Now I don't think it matters. I think with Fetterman's, you're only guy that maybe can see both sides of the aisle and vote either way.
Well, and Fetterman's not going to save the DNC.
He's not. No, that's what I'm saying. He's not going to be the guy to save the DNC. They'll just dump him. They'll just get rid of him. There will be so much dirt. To us, the whole Eric Swalwell thing, that guy should have been gone many, many years ago. We think the DNC's behind most of the leaks and all the other stuff.
Well, you see Gallego now.
He's a hindrance.
Yeah. See what's coming out about Gallego. Why is he still here?
Why is he still there?
The Democrats will eat their own.
Yep.
To bring in this new DSA party.
That's what I'm
young. They're young. They're vibrant. They're the college campuses, high school campuses, all teaching how socialism. I mean, this has been happening for years. Yes. Ronald Reagan warned us about be careful of the enemy within.
Yep.
This is the enemy within that he was talking about.
Correct. And to me, the only way to, I guess in a way, we are starting to play their game a little bit with the redistricting, with things that I thought that they should have been doing for years at this point. Not the whole, when they go low, we go high, Mike Obama thing. I'm saying you got to play their game at some point. We always seem to give in. We're the ones who compromised all the time. Okay, we'll give into this, we'll give into that. While the Democrats, they hold firm and they stand behind each other.
They're thick as thieves.
Yeah,
thick as thieves. Every time I have a Republican candidate or politician on, I always say that. Why is it that the Republicans do not stand together? And they always say, well, we have the word I in it, so we're independent. I'm like, you know what? That's not good.
Shut up.
We can't do that anymore. We need to stand behind each other, but they don't. The Democrats will get behind. They don't care. But the Republican Party has got to toughen up. And, you know, when Obama was elected for his second term, I remember saying I was covering that election party. I was at Eric Swalwell's election party. I was there. And you know what? I interviewed, I had a long story with him, but I asked him, I said, how do you feel about Obama getting elected? And he said, well, I'm not real happy about it. And I said, can I go on the record with that? And he said, no. And I'll never forget that. I never said it until all this happened.
Yeah.
I remember thinking that night as I was covering Obama, I said, you can't compete with free stuff.
Nope. You can't. Santa Claus is here, you know, and everybody loves Santa Claus.
And that's what we're seeing in the young, in the DSA. They want free house. They don't know what free housing means. They don't know what rent control means. Nope. They don't know what any of this means.
Nope.
Well, the illegals know what free housing is.
They know.
Yeah, but this is how stupid that side is. The illegals coming into this country during the Biden administration hurt the black people. I don't know. I think they don't want to be called African American, but it's the black people in this country. It hurt them. J.J. Carroll in Chicago met with people, and this is what's going on. But they don't see it. They just refuse to see.
Well, again, I think we need to now say they're mentally challenged.
Obviously.
That takes it a little step beyond just being stupid. They're literally mentally challenged, brainwashed, and have been told this from a liberal school agenda.
You see it day in and day out. I mean, we have social media, we have X, we have it is posted. All you got to do is follow like libs of TikTok or something like that. And you will see it daily on a daily basis. It is just
indoctrination.
Yep. These people are voters. That's the scary part. They're voters, and they're the exact voters the Democrats actually need.
Free health care and free college.
Which are neither of those happening. So, because they're too stupid to believe it. We're coming up at the top of the hour. Maureen is going to join us for the remainder of the show. We got 30 minutes left after this. We will be back with more.
This is Two Guys. Most people think they have options when searching for the best deals when they travel. But here's the shocking truth. 100% of the major travel agencies are owned by just two entities, Expedia and Booking Holdings. They claim to offer the lowest rates, but due to the hotel rate parity agreement, they all have the same pricing, limiting genuine competition. When you book through these sites, you act as your own travel agent, but the profits are going to organizations that don't support our patriot values. We cannot allow that to continue. So, we decided to make travel great again by starting a US-based travel membership platform, mypatriottravel.com. We are patriots helping patriots. Together, we can disrupt the travel industry by not spending our hard-earned dollars supporting the radical left. For just $29.99 per month, you gain access to true wholesale rates on travel, saving you on average 35% and up to 65%. Book as often as you like, with no limits. Keep your hard-earned dollars in your pocket and spend them on things you need and want to support. Go to mypatriottravel.com/TAFW and grab your membership today. mypatriottravel.com/TAFW, making travel great again. Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
I'm sure you guys remember the platinum single, Justice for All, with Donald Trump and the J6 Prison Choir. Well, get ready for round two. We're coming out with Anthem of the Free with High Res and the J6 Prison Choir. It's coming out now. It's pre-sale until December 19th when it drops. Get yours on all platforms, Google Play, Apple iTunes. Get it. It's going to be hot.
Justice for all, our voices ring. The anthem of the free.
It's me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free. In the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
And we are back. Thank you again for joining us, Maureen. Thank you again for being here. This has been great. It was a quick first hour, as always. We love having you here. I don't even know where we left off at because we talked about so much during the break. But maybe maybe if you don't mind me just even asking, we're kind of going into all that stuff. But how do you like Texas in general, like yourself? Like, I know it's a redder state. There's a lot of things going on that we hear on the outside about Muslim cities and what's Greg Abbott doing, and are they allowing this? And they want to bring Sharia law into some of these cities, and the whole. I assume you're not a James Tellerico fan. So what do you think about Texas in general and where the direction of that state's going?
So the cities, every city in Texas is a blue city. Houston, San Antonio, Dallas.
Like most states.
Austin. Mm-hmm. I'm in the hill country, the Texas hill country. I'm in Boerne, so I'm about 30 miles outside of San Antonio.
Okay.
Very blue. San Antonio's very blue city. I have been covering the local San Antonio district attorney's race.
Okay.
We have an independent candidate who's running, who is phenomenal. He's been on my show many times, Jason Wolf. If you guys are in Bexar County, get out there and vote for Jason Wolf. We had district attorney candidates, Democrat district attorney candidates running on anti-ICE, arresting them, going after them if they do not do something right in their job.
Unbelievable.
I even went to the governor's office and sent some of my concerns that this is a local district attorney who has they have no authority to arrest or go after an ICE agent. I went to Governor Abbott's press office. He actually held a press conference the very next day, not because of me, I would like to, but he came down with a new 10-point structure for law enforcement in Texas, cracking down on district attorneys, being able to impeach them, getting rid of bad judges. He had a 10-point plan. So the cities are very liberal. And San Antonio has crime problem, nothing like anything like in Los Angeles. But I always say when I'm interviewing any of these candidates, I didn't move to Texas to live 20 minutes from San Francisco or LA.
Yeah, correct.
We cannot let these cities. Now, the issues you're talking about, the mosques in the Indian, we have a big scam that's been uncovered, and Ken Paxton, our current AG, and Governor Abbott's office are working closely on it with H-1B visa violations. A lot of fraud in that. So that's in the North Dallas area, Frisco, Plano, and the Muslims and Sharia law and independent journalists like myself, not me, but ones that I'm very connected with. They're doing a great job of exposing what's going on and then getting Abbott and Ken Paxton involved.
Okay.
So yes, we have it's a red state, but the cities are blue. And we have to keep an eye on that. Tallarico, not going to win here.
Yeah.
No
way, right?
No, there's no way they can say all that. They want Texas. The liberals want Texas to be purple so bad. They want that seat so bad. I heard the other day that, he beat Jasmine Crockett. So how good can he be?
I'm really, honestly.
He's out there, doing his party dance, but he beat Jasmine Crockett. I saw the other day that she's not even going to go to the Democratic convention to support him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. She has no need. Jim's talked about it many times, and even her own aides have said she basically got into it for her social media presence.
That's all.
And to get attention. That's it. And now I guess
And I think he's doing the same thing. He has no substance.
Have you watched him eat a rib? See, I told Dale about this. You remember he was vegan. He was all this stuff. And
now he's eating ribs.
Watch how he chews.
Yeah.
It's like not somebody that enjoys it.
Not and someone who enjoys a good barbecue rib.
Just watch the way he chews. I'm telling you.
Everything he does is painful and performative and not natural. I mean, he wants boys and girls sports. He wants abortion.
God is non-binary.
Abortion for trans people. He wants all of the things that Texas families are against is what he's trying to run on. And when I say the cities are blue, they are, but the outlying part of Texas is huge and deep red.
Yeah, correct.
And they're not going to.
And I like to believe even some of the blues there can take a look at that platform and think that's not Texas. I'm even if I'm a Kennedy Democrat and I'm still living there and I'm raising a family and I've raised my family and it's me and my wife sitting on the porch and I still think I'm a Democrat. You've got to look at that and think that's not Texas.
The moderates.
Right?
Because there are more moderate Democrats here in Texas than
I would think
most other blue states. But I mean, he even is floating a billionaire tax plan here.
Yeah, that's the buzzword.
That's a good place to do it at. Yeah,
that's a good place to do it. Yeah. Let's take all that away.
Gene Simmons, we say this a lot, and he made a good point. All right, I mean, whether you like this or not,
yes.
But Gene Simmons said that I've never been paid by a poor person. and it's like, okay, I get it. Let's be careful about these individuals out there, the millionaires, the billionaires. They didn't become a billionaire because they made money that grew on trees. They had to invent something. They had to create something and sell something. So it's like, it's this whole thing about it's not fair. Well, it's not fair they have all this money and this person down the street that hasn't tried one bit in their life, that's mid-40s, has nothing to their name, and all they do is complain. So it's like, oh, we got to help that person out. No. We don't have to help that person was capable of helping themselves out, but then we're demonized for that process because we think that way.
And it's kind of like when you were a little kid and you grew up and the one neighbor kid had a better bike than you and and you'd go home to your parents and it's not fair. He got that. And your parents would say, well, that's too bad. If you want that bike, go get a paper route.
Work for it. Yep.
Or life's not fair.
I don't think kids are told that anymore. Right.
Oh, no, I don't think they are. They are not. I mean, I had to get a paper route. And literally it was a paper route. Folks out there who, I'm that old. I had to get a paper route. We were delivering papers. And if I wanted something, I had to work for it. Yep. During the summers, I'd work with my dad, to earn money to get stuff. And that's how it is.
And Dallas is getting a huge, we have the stock exchange here that opened. We have kind of they're calling it the Wall Street of the West.
Yep.
And we're getting huge companies and employees coming from New York City. So that is another reason the billionaire tax would never, because they're not going to do to Texas what New York City has done, what Palm County has done. So they're seeing this big influx of business coming from Wall Street. And it's just not going to happen.
And I guess it's always a concern too. And it was here in Florida when everybody started moving from up north and coming down to Florida, and a lot of it during COVID because, DeSantis was very firm on, I think 2 weeks we were closed. And then he was like, okay, you have a choice. You can do this or do that and do that. I'm not saying COVID didn't happen, not saying anything. The choice is yours, but we're going to open and we're going to have an economy. Just like Trump eventually said, enough of this. We have to open up the country. It always worried me that, okay, well, here comes the, liberals from Albany, New York. Now they're going to come move to Florida. And here we are. We're going to blow up the state. And that's a concern when people move out. But it seems to me that perhaps, and there are, the big Austin, Texas, a lot of people moved there. A lot of liberals moved there to Austin. It was artsy and that kind of thing anyways to begin with.
College
so it wasn't
town. It was always a college town.
College town. So it wasn't ever, not blue. Yeah. But that's a concern when people move out, and you have that, and you're like, okay, well, don't screw up what we've done here, people, because you're coming here for a reason. And so hopefully that's the case. It's always just a concern of mine that when they move out of those locations, they're going to be like, well, we're still stupid and blue, and we're going to try to make that state that way.
Well, it's funny. People ask me all the time about, don't California my Texas is a big tagline here. And I tell everyone, I said, don't worry. The crazies in California love it. They would never come to a state like this.
Yes, correct.
Like the true liberal crazies. Oh, they are like a pig in slop in California. They are not going to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, we found that out. We found that out with this when the very first elections that came through for like the governor of New Hampshire, then of course Virginia, we saw that there's always that hope, there's always that hope that the Republican, and then when the election's over, the Republican got blown away. And I think it was to that time where, and I think it was Sean Hannity that said it when he had some people on there, is that, maybe the people moving out of these blue cities and states are actually conservatives, are tired of it, and they're leaving, which makes sense why they're not able to turn Florida and not able to turn Texas, because they're moving. But because you got Spanberger, who ran as a moderate, who now wants to tax dog walkers. So it's like, this is.
But the one state that it did turn was Arizona.
Correct.
A lot of Californians moved to Arizona, and it became very much more.
Yeah, but that voting system, I don't trust any election.
Well, again, there you go. There's the same thing.
Absolutely do not
that
trust
voting system. Look who's in charge. Look who the governor is. Absolutely. That was. I don't trust that voting system either. But
California, they learned from California.
Yeah, they sure did.
Now, Peter Schweitzer made a comment about California, and I want to get your opinion on it, because I didn't know the whole concept of it. I gotcha. Okay. Peter Schweitzer said, "Is it illegal if it's allowed?" They was talking about California, because we're all sitting here saying, "How that's corrupt, but is this allowed?" But I can't imagine paying homeless people to vote. Is that legal in California?
Oh, probably.
Because Peter, he made a good point. It just because it doesn't look good doesn't mean it's not allowed. And it's so.
Well, you're paying for votes. That's got to be illegal. But again, we always thought being illegal in this nation doesn't allow you to vote, even in local elections. And turns out that's not the case, right?
Or get health care.
Or get health care, or housing, or debit cards, or food stamps.
California is the Wild West when it comes to any type of sane rulemaking.
Wow. Well, keep that in mind. I do want to talk about that in our last segment, and of course, give you time to plug who you are and where people can find you. So we'll be right back after this final segment.
Me, Joe the Box, the America First Warehouse, most patriotic venue in all the land.
The America First Warehouse, a beacon for all to see, a symbol of unity. For the patriots of America, we stand tall and free in the America First Warehouse, where our hearts will always be.
The America First Ultra MAGA Store. For all your MAGA needs. We sell t-shirts, tumblers, flags, hats, sneakers, bumper stickers, and a whole lot more. The most patriotic America First retail store. The America First Ultra MAGA Store.
This is former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, and I'm asking you to vote for Greg Hack for the United States Congress. The bosses tried to keep him out. The people put him on the ballot. That's a darn good reason to vote for him, but there's a better one. He is a true Trump Republican, and he will fight for our values and not cave into the Democrats, as many Nassau County Republicans have done in the past. Vote for Greg Hack. God bless you.
Are you a true American? Then it's time to get connected. Download the America First Media and Television app and stay up to date with real news, bold voices, and live events from the America First Warehouse. From national broadcasts and exclusive shows to comedy nights, concerts, and special events. It's all right at your fingertips. No filters, no spin, just America First. Download the America First Media and Television app today and be part of the movement.
America First Warehouse was really the most patriotic venue that you can ever imagine. We wanted to build something for people to be able to come to and feel so comfortable and so relaxed, because there is nothing out there like it. We give an opportunity for people to really feel good about themselves and about this great country.
And we are back, our final segment, again, joined by Maureen Enner, host of the Red, White, and Blonde podcast. We'll get to how you can find that and all of her links here near the end. I wanted to talk to you real quick, if you don't mind, about the so-called conservative podcasters and influencers now who have seemed to have done a 180. People like Tucker Carlson, let's just say, who just denounced the GOP, said he would never vote for them. What happened to these people? Is it mental or is it money?
Megyn Kelly too.
Well, her too. Yeah. I mean, we can go on. Candace Owens, who I never thought was conservative anyways, but we're talking about those kind of those people.
I have a lot of respect for Tucker. I've worked alongside of him. I've seen him one-on-one. I've never interviewed him, but I've literally stood next to him doing pressers and whatnot. Very smart, from San Francisco. He's a San Francisco native, as I am. I think he's very smart. I kind of think he knows more than we do too.
Really?
I think there are things that he knows that, he's very, he really kind of cracked open the whole Israel thing and AIPAC and who's taking the money. And I am with you. I think Trump, he's not going to be coerced, but Tucker Carlson is who said that Israel has nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And nobody really knew that. So I think that there's probably fractures in the GOP that he doesn't like.
Okay.
I think he's still a conservative. I don't think he's going to become a democratic socialist.
No, he's made that comment.
But I think he's going to speak freely about the things that he sees wrong in the GOP, and he has every right to do that.
And I want to know it.
We want to know it.
So.
There has been a lot of things that I've learned through Tucker in the last few months, especially about Israel. And the money that's going there.
We agree. And so I think we agree on that. We have always been, well, I don't say always, but we have learned a lot. And I've gotten onto the side of Israel's government, not the people. Again, we need to be very clear about what we're talking about here. It's never about really the people. It is a lot with me in a lot of Muslim countries, because they're just raised on the Quran and raised to kill, the infidels, which are us, so that's not exactly what I'm talking about. But the Israeli people, I think, have been shafted in a way too by the Israeli government.
Let's go back to Tucker and the reason why he went to his own podcast, because he wanted to break the story about the election scandal of 2020, and Fox would not let him.
Correct. Agreed.
So kind of have to go back and look at he stood on his own and fought a network.
He did.
And that was sued. The network Dominion sued Fox.
Yeah, correct.
And so, you have to, it's like shock and awe, right? You're like, oh my God, he supported Trump. I mean, he worked hard to get Trump elected in 2024.
I agree.
You got to wait for the fallout, because the fallout's always better than the shock and the awe.
I agree. The fallout is, I guess my question is coming out to denounce the GOP in general. I understand the party itself. It's one thing to me, it's, I can't, if I denounce the GOP in general, I say I'm done with the GOP, then in essence, I feel I'm supporting the Democrat Party. And even though I wouldn't vote for him, even though none of that happens, to me, his voice still has influence. And so to me, sometimes when you say things, you might want to clarify, or you might not want to say it like that. So that's always my issue.
It'll be his next show. He's got to lead up.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
But again, the GOP is very fractured.
It is. It's guaranteed. But for me to say that I'm going to leave that party or denounce it, or I'm never going to vote for that party again, to me it's almost like, it's almost like I'm going to take my ball and go home, kind of situation to me. And it's like, okay, well, you can say those things and you can have that. And I respect them wholeheartedly. Hell, he's had a great career doing what he does, and he's super smart. And I've always liked him.
Let's look at let's look at Charlie Kirk. Let's look at what the FBI knows and what they're covering up. And I'm just speculating. Everybody, don't come at me. I love Charlie Kirk. I don't think he had any. I think he had an organization that might have been a little questionable. I don't think he had anything to do with that. But it's always bothered me why Bongino left the FBI.
Yes.
The Butler and Tucker has covered the Butler assassination very closely. And Trump has said he's not going to investigate that anymore.
Correct. Why?
Trump is supporting Erica Kirk, the theory of what happened to Charlie Kirk. I mean, I personally think that might be a big part of what Tucker has seen and things that Tucker probably knows that we don't know. And that bothers me too.
Yes.
That what happened in Butler, what happened to Charlie Kirk, the FBI swooped in immediately. Everything got cleaned up. We got a suspect. He's on trial, very JFK-ish. And Tucker did a lot of reporting on that.
Yeah.
And I wonder what he knows.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Is it possible? I can't see that, President Trump set this up. I just can't see, hey, I want you to shoot me in the ear.
Oh, no.
I don't think, but do you think President Trump is, the reason why he doesn't want the investigation go through is because he knows that this is Secret Service all over it, and because they have to protect him and save him, that he doesn't want to.
I think it's because there's involvement from the blue and white country.
Really?
Okay.
Okay. You do.
I thought that from the very beginning with Butler.
But why wouldn't President Trump want to bring that out?
The other part.
He's not going to go to war with Israel over this.
Yeah.
Do you think Israel tried to take out President Trump?
Personally, I do. I think they had an involvement in it.
You think Mossad had an involvement?
Mossad.
If we're going to say that.
And they thought Kamala Harris was going to protect them?
Well, they could control her a whole lot easier than they could Trump.
That's interesting.
Really? So it's a control issue. So this is different. This is for another show.
And
for sure. We don't have the time.
And I'm happy to come on and I have
absolutely.
On this. But Tucker Carlson has been the one to say these things.
He has. Well, he has. Now, Candace Owens is also said things, but she thinks everybody's guilty. We'll
go back to, like I said, the Leah files.
Okay. All right.
We'll see. But I think Tucker, I think he knows way more. And I honestly believe this is why Bongino left the
FBI. I 100%.
That I believe. I believe
something.
Too.
He saw something and nothing was being done because you saw Kash Patel didn't want to go to Pam Bondi. He wanted to go directly to President Trump, and Bongino had some issues when he got in there. So, there's something. I agree with you 100%. Something happened, and Bongino can't talk about it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Agree.
But
I agree.
It's because Dale and I asked this one question there. Can we trust anybody anymore? I mean, can we trust? We know who we can't trust. We know that. That's obvious. That's the liberal crazy people out there. But are we following blindly sometimes? The world is not what we were taught.
The world as we know it. And honestly, if the truth ever came out about Butler or Charlie Kirk, the GOP would not survive.
Wow. Holy smoke.
I think because of the cover-up. I think because of the cover-up.
Yeah.
So it's obviously been a cover-up because the president trying to be assassinated, and we just don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah. There's definitely a cover-up.
And he shut down the investigation, and that came from Tucker Carlson.
Yep. The two questions before we got 3 minutes left here, and I want to make sure we get to and then of course we want to have you back, obviously. Did Epstein hang himself? Yes or no?
No.
Did we ever land on the moon?
I go back and forth with that one.
Yeah, me and Jim too. I always ask everybody this question.
I kind of don't think so, because I don't think they thought back then everybody would have a cell phone with like amazing video and be able to look at things the way we do now.
I agree.
Well, Maureen, Dale always says we didn't, and I said that it's too big of a story that they can't hide it forever. And then we hear when they went around the moon, then they said this comment that just, I'm like, oh my God. It's like, now we have to figure out how we're going to land on the moon. And I'm like, going, wait a minute. You already did that. So take that and expand it to today.
Yeah, I don't think they thought we were going to have the technology we have today to analyze these things. And the televisions. Look at the TVs
I'm like going, damn it, Dale. Damn it, Dale. You got it. Damn it.
Maureen, we are going to get along. Like, I can't believe I got a new best friend. Anyways, while we're coming to an end here, can you tell people when they can watch Red, White, and Blonde, how they find you, your links, and then we'll post your links on social media as well, but the times they can watch you and all that, and who's going to be on next? Like, who do you have coming up?
Well, thank you so much. So my podcast, Red, White, and Blonde, my daughter named it. I have to give credit out to my daughter. And I do not have scheduled times. I just do taped podcasts, and then I post all my links. The ways that you can read or see all of my links are, I'm on Instagram, Maureen Enner, Facebook, Maureen Enner. I'm on TikTok, Red, White, and Blonde.
Yep.
And then I'm on X as Red, White, and Blonde. And I do have several of my podcasts on YouTube as Red, White, and Blonde.
Nice. Okay. And then maybe soon on Rumble. Who knows?
Yes. Right? I'm going to take after you guys and follow your marketing. And because I didn't know how this was going to do. And it's done. I'm very happy with the traction I've gotten. And my next person I have coming up, I have Michael Gates coming on, who's running for Attorney General of California. He's been on my show many times. And we're going to talk about the corrupt voting system, how Kamala Harris got late votes to win the AG position in California. 4 days later, all of a sudden, she got late votes. And we're going to be talking about this corruption case in California and Oakland that involves Rob Bonta. He's loosely tied to it. And talk about his plan to save California. And you know what? All we can do is pray for California because it's a beautiful place.
That's it. You're right.
It is.
Right.
Absolutely. It's like we talk about Oregon.
Downhill like that.
Beautiful place to live.
Well, my grandparents
beautiful
moved there
place,
in 1850 and they built that city. My family built that city.
Yeah, don't let it go. It's worth the fight. That's for sure. Folks, thank you again for joining us. Maureen, thank you. It was a true honor having you here. We really appreciate that. Thank you to everybody out there for starting your Tuesday morning here with us, Two Guys, One Coup at the America First Warehouse and the America First Media and Television Network. It's a mouthful. Stay tuned for a full day of podcasts here on the network, including tomorrow as well. Like, follow, and share. Do all the things you do out there for us. Maureen, please come back if you don't mind. We'd love to have you.
Would love
it. It was a pleasure. Jimmy, thank you for your help. Everybody out there, God bless you. God bless America. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
This is Two Guys, One Coup. Two guys, one coup, straight truth. No spin, just a clear-cut view. Headlines hit, we break them down. No run around, we call it now. Real talk, real facts, no disguise. Straight to the point, no alibis. Thanks for tuning in, we ride with you. America first, yeah, that's the move. 2G1C.